My name is Natalie, and this is Matt. We're both the parents of Shade and Emily Smith. Emily is 7, Shade is 9, and both of the girls were diagnosed in '08 with restrictive cardiomyopathy. Shade had come down with strep throat. I'd taken her to the hospital. They had found a heart murmur and asked me if she was born with it, and I said no. And he said, well, it's not a big concern, but you might want to get her into her pediatrician, have it looked at. At the same time, Emily had pneumonia for about 2 months. And after medication and medication and medication, I decided, something's wrong here. So I took her to the hospital, and the doctor came back in. He said, both the girls have restrictive cardiomyopathy. There's no treatment. There's no medicine. Both of them have to have a new heart.
Just really shocked and just completely devastated. And there's that initial reaction where you just want to be in disbelief and just kind of denial. But I just immediately broke down. I was going downstairs, and I stopped on the stairs and sat down and just sat there for a long, long time and just really broke down. And it was a really, really hard day. And, of course, immediately made plans to move back down to Fort Worth to be near the girls. And it took us about a month after we got down here, and we got the girls on the transplant list.
You have a lot of sleepless nights. Anytime your phone rings, your heart sinks, thinking, this is it. You don't want to send them anywhere, to friends' houses or to school. You're afraid the pager's going to go off or something's going to happen to them. It's just really, really hard.
And 9 months later, in January of this year, we got Emily's heart. And that was a pretty hectic day, obviously.
My phone went off at about 4:30, and it was Susan, and she said, we don't have long. You need to, where are the kids? And I said, they're having to sleep over at their grandmother's. She said, well, get Emily, and it's time. And she immediately asked, where are we going? And I told her, you've got your new heart. And she started to cry, but her sister Shade gave her iPod to listen to in the car. So we put that on her, and I talked to her and held her hand and talked her to the hospital.
I was nervous, really nervous. I was afraid that she wasn't going to make it out of the hospital, or she was going to have to stay in there for a long time.
So Emily got her heart, and initially when she came out of surgery, and you see your daughter there, and she's hooked up to all these hoses and these systems that are basically keeping her alive, it was just like hearing it all over again. I was so devastated, and I had a really hard time those first couple days.
The biggest change was her body was warm. Her hands were warm. She didn't have the ashy skin anymore. Her lips were enormous and bright red, and her little cheeks were rosy, and her eyes were sparkly and clear. All of the doctors and nurses, and all the way to the girls that answer the phone and greet us when we walk in, everybody at Children's has been amazing and comforting and inspirational.
It's just been such a steady increment of healing for her, where almost by day you could see her getting better and better, and now she's just such this little ball of energy.
She's all over the place. She talks more, she's running everywhere. She's now my hyper child.
They're both going through this ordeal that only they really know about. We've all experiencing it to an extent, but it's their struggle, and they really have. They've leaned on each other a lot, and it's a really incredible and special thing to witness.
After Emily's transplant, we had that little bit of release, but you turn around and you've got to go through it all over again. So watching Emily's recovery and how well she's done gives us a lot of hope for Shade's recovery, and hopefully she'll pull through it like Emily did, like a champ. What I'm waiting for after Shade gets her heart is to see her healthy, to see her be able to do the cheerleading and play with her friends and do recess like other normal kids get to do. And for us, just that knowing that part is over with, and that we've got 2 beautiful, healthy little girls that are going to grow up and get married and have little babies and what every mother wants for their little girls.